Hello. Today we're going to be looking at reverse percentages, where we have to calculate the original amount following a percentage change. And there are three steps that we take to calculate the original amount. The first one is to calculate our decimal multiplier. If you're not comfortable calculating the decimal multiplier, then please look at our video on the BEA Maths channel of calculating decimal multipliers. Once we have the decimal multiplier, we then set up our equation, which is the original amount multiplied by the decimal multiplier, which will provide us with the new amount. In step 3, we use the information that we've gathered and we reverse the equation. So we start with the new amount, we divide by the decimal multiplier, and that gives us our original amount. So now we're going to have a look at some questions. So the first question that we have is that we have a percentage change of 10% decrease, and we have a new value of £360. So we start with our original amount, and we are going to multiply that by our decimal multiplier, which in this case is a 10% decrease, so that would be 0.9. And we multiply by 0.9, and that gives us a final answer of £360. So we now reverse our equation. We start with our new amount, which is 360. This time, because we've reversed, we're going to divide by our decimal multiplier, which is 0.9, giving us a final answer of 400. So the original value was £400. Let's have a look at another example. In this one, we have a 25% decrease with a new value of 150. So we know that our decimal multiplier with a 25% decrease is going to be 0.75. So we start with our original, and we would multiply that by 0.75, giving us our new amount of £150. We then reverse the equation, and we start with £150. This time, because it's in reverse, we are going to divide by our decimal multiplier, which would give us a final answer of £200 as our original amount. Next couple of questions, we have an increase. So the first thing we have to calculate is our decimal multiplier, and our decimal multiplier in this case with a 10% increase is going to be 1.1. So we start with our original, we multiply it by 1.1, and that gives us our new amount of £440. We then reverse our equation, so we have £440. Because we're going in reverse, we divide by 1.1, giving us a final amount of £400. In the next question, we have a 25% increase. So our decimal multiplier in this example is 1.25. So we start with our original value, we'd multiply that by 1.25, and we get our final amount of £250. We now reverse our equation. We start with £250. This time we would divide by 1.25, giving us our original amount of £200. We have another question here, a bit more of an exam style question. So we have the value of a house is increasing, and it then has a new value. We still do exactly the same thing. So our decimal multiplier on this equation is 1.06 because it's increased by 6%. We start with our original. We know we're going to be multiplying it by our multiplier, which is 1.06, would give us a final amount of 265,000. We then reverse our equation, so we start with £265,000. This time we divide by 1.06, giving us an original value of £250,000. One more question, this time it's a reduction. So our decimal multiplier in this instance, because it's a 20% reduction, is going to be 0.8. We start with our original, we'd multiply by 0.8, giving us our new price of £4.80. We reverse our equation, so we've got £4.80. We're going to divide by 0.8 in this case, giving us original price of £6. So there's now an opportunity for you to practice some questions, so please pause the video at this point, try these 4 questions and then press play to check your answers. So the first question, we have a 10% decrease, so our decimal multiplier is 0.9. So we have our original multiplied by 0.9, giving us a new value of 36. We reverse. We're going to divide by 0.9, giving us an original value of £40. This time we have a 5% decrease, so our decimal multiplier is 0.95. So we have our original multiplied by 0.95, giving us a value of £190. So we start with £190, we divide by 0.95, giving us a final original amount of £200. In the next question, we've got a 10% increase. So our decimal multiplier is 1.1. We have our original, we'd multiply by 1.1, and that would give us our new value of 44. We reverse, so we have £44, divide by 1.1, giving us an original amount of £40. The next question this time is a 5% increase, so our decimal multiplier is 1.05. We have our original. We're going to multiply by 1.05, and that would give us a new amount of £84. We reverse, so we divide by 1.05, giving us an original amount of £80. So well done if you got those questions correct. There's one more question I'd like to have a little look at, so please pause the video and have a go at this question and then play to see the solution. So with this GCSE question, it's slightly different because there are 2 changes, but we do exactly the same thing. So our decimal multiplier for number 1 is a 23% reduction, so that's going to be 0.77. And our second decimal multiplier for the second change is a reduction of 19%, so that is going to be 0.81. So essentially what's happening in this one, we have our original amount. We're going to multiply that by 0.77 to give us an amount here that we do not know. Following that change, there's a further change where we multiply by 0.81, and that leaves us with a final amount of £10,914.75. And all we do at this point is just reverse exactly the same thing that we have been doing. So £10,914.75, we're going to divide by 0.81, and if we divide by 0.81, that gives us 13,475. We then reverse the first step, so we would divide by 0.77, and that gives us an original value of the car of £17,500. So well done if you got that question correct. Thank you for watching the video. Please look for more content on the BEA Maths channel.